Welcome back, or should I say welcome. It's been a very long time since I've actually recorded a podcast. I've kept saying it's going to be tomorrow, but it doesn't happen. So,
indeed, my friend, you have been quite stagnated.
How long? How many days have I procrastinated this? I
think it's best we don't talk about that, but it's definitely been a few months since.
A few months, that's right.
Yeah, we've bought equipment and we've been planning this podcast.
Hilarious, man. Yeah.
It today was the day that it finally had to happen.
Yeah. Well, yes. Welcome back. Like I said, or welcome.
Yeah.
Well, I used to have a podcast before. I was recording stuff.
So all the OG listeners that are still here,
the OGs listeners, man. I love you guys and you too, whoever's watching. If you click the
if you're new as well,
we click the subscribe button only. Then I love you. I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. But what was I saying? Yes. So why are we going to start this podcast? The motivation I had behind was. In life, I keep running into people, and they have a lot of valuable information that I love talking to my friends about. Right. So, to be honest with you, I just wanted to share those ideas so it can maybe give you a spark of consciousness for a stream of thoughts, right?
Exactly.
That can eventually end up you being a better person.
This podcast is called The Balcony, and, you guys are on the balcony right now.
Yeah,
you are. With us. And, we're just, we're going to be talking about things that are genuine interest to ourselves. So talking about ourselves, let's do a little introduction. My name is Amon. And then here's my brother, Daniel.
His elder brother, by the way.
Yeah, my elder brother. We're both students at USC. I'm studying computer science. And Danny over here.
Yeah, well, I had to say elder because some people think I'm really mature. And I'm kidding.
Yeah, let's get on with it.
Well, okay. So my name is Daniel. Like you said, I go by Danny sometimes. But I'm studying pharmacy drug development at SC at the moment. This is the first way you introduce yourself. But man, I just want to be rich as fuck, man. One day,
Here we are in downtown LA.
Who doesn't?
We like to think of ourselves as young bucks who are trying to make a difference in the future. And part of that comes down to realizing what are the things that we need to be focusing on, the stories, the developments that are happening that maybe not everybody is looking at right now, but they wish they were, or they will wish they were, 10, 15, 20 years from now.
Dude, I want to kind of add to what you said right now. Think about 2016, man, Bitcoin.
I mean,
think about Ethereum, man.
A few days ago, XRP,
Yeah. I mean, that's crypto stuff, but there's also other stuff involved.
Yeah.
Like what's going on in the world with China, for example, and Japan, and Taiwan, there's a lot of things to be concerned about.
Very interesting time.
We're off, better to say, sorry.
Yeah, we definitely live in a very interesting time,
I
think, where a lot of things that weren't possible, 100 years ago are coming into possibility. And we can only imagine what's going to be in 100 years from now, considering, the boom of AI and technology and what that means for our race. Are we going to get ahead of ourselves? Are we going to have too much power and destroy ourselves?
IBM's CEO once said, I think that I don't remember the exact number, but I think he said we can't make more than 4 computers a year. I think he said that once.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we got to look at
it. Yeah, and I think a big reason for that is, from someone like that, their perspective, they're very well educated on what the industry currently looks like, what the capability currently is to do something. Right. So, maybe back in the day when he said something like that, he actually meant it.
No. What I meant saying was,
I totally get what you're saying. He actually meant it back then, because based on what he knew and the information that he had, he thought it was impossible. Yeah. But little did he know that the information that he had, what they thought was impossible, is possible.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to get at is, right now we have AI, and I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't think it's predictable to say, oh, I think this is going to happen. This is the max. What I'm saying is, we don't know what's going to happen. That's the most exciting part. That's how we know more millionaires and billionaires are going to be made. So maybe we should be thinking about certain areas for business.
And at the end of the day, when it comes to it, this story is quite typical, where you see some dudes start a podcast.
Yeah.
So for all those people who are out there, okay, is this just another podcast? Another dude is starting a podcast because he wants to talk all the time. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't.
Yeah.
But you gotta stick with us and find out. Give us a chance. See if what we have to share is valuable. And I think we will find that you'll stick around.
Yeah, I think you can expect, professionals. A lot of my professors, for example. We
totally.
have a lot
plan
to
have
add.
a lot of guests on this podcast. As much as we like to kick back, and we'll definitely have those few episodes where we talk about things that interest us.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
But we're also very interested in getting actual experts on things that we don't know too much about onto the podcast. Invite them onto the balcony, have a nice chat with them, learn about what's their specialty.
Yeah,
the stuff that they've learned in life, doing all the crazy things that they've done.
And I think the best part of that is there are areas that we're not really thinking about. For example, when it comes to our food that we're eating, professionals in the area, they know a lot more than we know. So just by getting certain information, you become a lot more aware of your surroundings, who you are, what you want from your life. I think the first step in getting anywhere, is making $1 million, or I haven't made $1 million yet. Hopefully, I don't know.
Hopefully,
but what I'm saying is, in order to do whatever you got to do in life, you got to have, I think, this question figured out. Who are you? What do you want?
What do you want? I think that's figuring out what you're passionate about, and what really makes you want to get up in the morning is like half the journey.
Yeah, but
just knowing what it is that you want to do, not what you've been told you want to do, not what other people have said they want to do. What you actually want to do.
But I think it's a little difficult to tell as well, because we're evolving as human beings every day.
We are,
and part of that is a part of being human is figuring out a little more about yourself every day. So
right.
when you get up, one day you were like, I like doing this. The next morning you might not like it. So again, that's just part of you discovering yourself in the process, right? So I just think that it's important to be aware of a lot of things.
Yeah.
For not just financial growth, but also emotional growth, physical growth, all that kind of thing,
Totally agree with you. And the most important thing is to not be stagnated. I think most people know, or at least have a rough idea of what it is they should be doing to solve their problem. If you're overweight, you should be eating less, and moving more. Or if you're, if you're not doing too well in a certain class, you should be spending a few more hours, going into office hours, stuff like that. So even the bigger problems in life, if you want to make money and you want to solve that problem, how do you do it? Well, you need to be uphoning your own skills. You need to be getting better with communication. You need to figure out what industries have potential, and these are all things that you actively need to be doing. But knowing that you need to do something and actually doing that something are two very different things. So, and that's why we get stagnated. We want to do this podcast forever.
What I'm going to say is, what's the difference between somebody who knows and doesn't do it, and somebody who doesn't know and doesn't do it?
Literally,
there's no difference at all.
If you have an idea and you think it's worth going after, try it. But there's really no better way to know if it's worth it than to do it.
Yeah.
So if you're just thinking about something and you're stuck, like we were with this podcast
for a long time, I think it was over 6 months, man. Let's be real.
The best feeling you'll have is when you actually do it.
Yeah.
And something's gonna seem a lot harder before you start it. Once you start it, like this example, we were waiting on this. We're sitting on our asses for months. Yeah. Just thinking about how are we gonna film it? How are we gonna set it up? How are the logistics gonna work out? But thinking about it was harder than actually just doing it one day.
Yeah. So I was in Japan with my dad just a week ago. I just came back to LA. Okay. You know that, but you guys don't.
Background for our listeners.
My dad told me something that kind of hit me. He's like, so in the Japanese culture, you don't have the concept of just thinking about it and then just doing it tomorrow. Like in the Japanese mindset, if you have to do something, you have to do it right now.
Yeah.
You don't like the time you take to think about something. You're also consuming time.
It's extra mental energy being spent as well.
Exactly.
Just thinking about doing something.
So just instead of writing it down. Well, if it's in the morning and you're making a checklist, it's different. But just writing it down, it's just giving yourself, talking about myself here, satisfaction. I'm going to do it today, but you're not really going to do it. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Just figuring out what it is you have to do and just doing it. That's the Like,
yeah, well,
that's the only thing you can do to solve your problems, you know.
Yeah, well, I think we should end this short little introduction right here
So
with just one comment. What I want to see is what you guys are interested in hearing from us.
yeah, and if you definitely leave
comment.
it in the
Yeah.
comments if there's something that you guys want to hear us talk about, or someone in a specific field or area of knowledge that you want to,
or even if somebody you have in
investigate.
mind, somebody
Yeah.
specific,
If you have
somebody
someone
who's
in
very
mind,
knowledgeable.
just drop it in the comments,
know.
and we'll try to see if we can make that happen.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you so much. And if you want to see me smile later, when I go to sleep, please subscribe that, to subscribe,
Yes,
because I
indeed.
have to say that, because everybody, we know if I'm not going to say it, who's going to say it?
Yeah,
you know?
it's
I'm embarrassed.
a little bit of a tangent, but it's always
got a lot of
you got to be that
influence.
shameless guy, just ask for it. No shame plug,
Yeah.
subscribe,
Well,
like,
yeah.
comment, all that. We live in an age where you don't want to do it, but you have to. So
Yeah,
it is what it
exactly,
is.
guys. With that, we said adios, and we'll see you
All
later.
right. Peace out from the balcony, guys.
Peace out from the balcony.
Great vocals.
Yeah, thanks. I had to be a little loud.